Hi everyone. Welcome to another QFMC Connection. It's my turn again, so as I like to call it, just a couple minutes of my wandering thoughts. So thanks for watching. I have heard over the last just few days the same sentiment repeated to me, not word for word, but the sentiment was the same. And it goes something like this: when things get back to normal, then I'm going to. Or when things go back to normal, then we will. Or we're just waiting for things to go back to normal and then. Or when all this ends, then we will. And then they go on in the conversation. And each time I've got to admit, it's left me hollow, it's left me concerned. Because as we are waiting for the normal to return, we don't know if it will. And what are we missing in the present that God might be calling us towards? Yet we are allowing ourselves to be paralyzed by this thought that the normal is just around the corner or that we can be still until then. And that is not my understanding of Scripture. That is not my understanding of what God calls us to. And this idea that we are just waiting or are content to wait or are content in our discontentment with our situation. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there is a very real and a very worthy level of discontentment that we as believers need to have with our fallen world. But I'm also aware of what Paul refers to in 1 Thessalonians when he's talking to the church there. Always be joyful. Never stop praying. Be thankful in all circumstances. That's what he was telling them, and I got to believe that that applies to us today. So I would just challenge you. Have you uttered that phrase? I mean, I have. Have you? When things go back to normal, then. Now, if it's on little things like planning a family trip or something like that, go for it. But if it is something of consequence, if it is something with a relationship, with your walk with Christ, with something of consequence, then I challenge you, figure out what you're supposed to do now in the present. Don't be waiting for this normal to return, for we do not know when it will be. Now, that might sound like a downer, but I don't mean it to be. What I mean it to be is a challenge to get closer to Jesus and figure out what we're supposed to do today. Hey, if you haven't heard, we're having church in person this Sunday, 9 a.m. The service will be online just like normal at 10:30. If you want to come join us, we'd love to see you. We have tried to communicate that in all sorts of ways, and if it has somehow missed you, reach out to us. We need to get you registered and look forward to seeing you. Thanks, everyone.